Welcome, everyone, to your full moon in Capricorn horoscopes and tarotscopes. So the full moon that we have today is July 3rd. Happy 4th of July week. I hope you're almost ready to go on vacation or set off some fireworks or have a barbecue, something to celebrate your 4th of July. So our Capricorn full moon was today here on the West Coast, Pacific Coast. We had our full moon at 4:38 a.m. So it was 7:38 a.m. if you're on the East Coast. And it's a big deal. It's a big deal. This is going to be the last lunation before, I believe, the nodes change, which we'll talk about next time. But let's talk about this full moon in Capricorn. So there are going to be certain things we're going to discuss today, just so you can follow along if you're new. I'm Joshua the Psychic, and the full moon occurs when the sun and the moon are in opposite signs. So the sun is in Cancer, moon is in Capricorn, and this symbolizes a peak of illumination, balance, and the integration of opposing energies. The full moon meaning is the culmination of the lunar cycle, representing completion, illumination, and heightened emotions. A lot of police officers say that under the full moon, things get a little bit wacky, intense. Other places like hospitals, emergency rooms, nursing homes, people might be acting a little zany, a little loony. And that's just because we're at a height of an emotional experience, all of us. 11 degrees we're going to talk about today. That's where this full moon is. Each full moon or new moon occurs in a specific sign, aligning with a particular degree, emphasizing unique energies and themes. So you want to see in your astrological chart, ideally, where 11 degrees of Capricorn falls, which house. And when we're talking about houses, houses divide the birth chart into 12 sections, representing different areas of life and experiences, influencing the planets and signs within them. Capricorn, we're going to be talking a lot about today. Capricorn is an earth sign, and Capricorn is known for ambition, discipline, practicality, and a strong sense of responsibility. Capricorns were born and they had a lot of responsibility early on in life. Luckily for Capricorn, they grow old in reverse, meaning at a younger age, they have a lot of responsibility on them. There's a lot of seriousness. It's a little bit heavy. And as they progress, as they age, Capricorns actually get to relax and have fun. And they have their childhood later on in their lives, right? And you can actually see this visually because they grow old in reverse. A Capricorn will typically look younger at 50 than they did 40, younger at 60 than they did 50, etc. And the full moon in Capricorn is a time to embrace ambition, set practical goals, release what no longer serves you, and work diligently toward long-term success. And we're going to talk all about this full moon and its waning moon cycle over the next 2 weeks and how you can make the most of it. Hello, Sin. Good morning. Nice to see you. Hey, Casmar. Good afternoon. Hey, Regan. Thanks for joining live. So, as we said, full moons are a time of culmination, completion, and emotional release. After this full moon, well, now, since the full moon was earlier, we'll start our waning moon cycle, which will be from today until the 17th of July. Then we'll have our Cancerian new moon, which we'll talk about in a week and a half. But during this waning moon phase, from July 3rd to the 17th, we're releasing energy to achieve our objectives. So full moons are all about letting go. So you got the 2 moon cycles. New moons are about drawing in, focusing on what you want, calling it in, making your intentions. And full moons are about releasing energy. So what you could do is for your new moon, say, I want this, I want to call this in. And then for your full moon, you could say, well, I want to release blocks to this coming in or release resistance. So keep that in mind. This is the letting go phase. This is a really great time to release things from your life, be it relationships that no longer work for you, be it clutter. If you want to drop a few pounds, full moon is great for that. The full moon waning cycle is good for losing weight or decreasing clutter, anything in terms of decrease. Hey, great talent. Nice to see you. So keep that in mind. We're releasing energy, release resistance. That's the easiest thing to do. Just when you find yourself resisting something, it persists. So you want to release resistance. You want to let go and go with the flow. We got two big aspects that we're going to talk about this full moon. The moon will be opposing Mercury, or had opposed Mercury. So this energy is going to be relevant for the next 2 weeks. Heightened communication and reflection is big with the moon opposite Mercury. There is the potential for conflicts between emotions and logic, because again, the moon, which is emotion, is opposing Mercury, which is logic. So we all want to seek balance and clarity in our expression. We want to be super duper clear, right? And when in doubt, leave it out, right? Don't say things that you think might be an issue, or just wait. You know, Capricorn is very strategic. It's very practical. Take your time. Slow and steady wins the race. Then we also have Moon trine Jupiter, which is awesome. So this aspect will invite abundance, optimism, and growth into our lives. It fosters emotional well-being, harmonious relations, and spiritual wisdom. So this is going to be what we're going to focus on mostly in our horoscopes and tarotscopes today, how you can really make the most of that Moon trine Jupiter, because Jupiter brings lots of abundance and luck and expansion and growth. So we all want to tap into that Jupiter for sure. Yes, Kasmar, we're going to let go of stress. No more stress. Hey, Ally, or Ali from Canada, happy Monday to you. So 4 things to do under this Capricorn full moon cycle. So that's now until the 17th of July. Be ambitious. Capricorn is known for their ambition. So what we want to do is set ambitious yet realistic goals. We want to also utilize the optimistic energy of the Jupiter trine to aim high and establish practical goals aligned with long-term aspirations. So keep in mind, Capricorn does not like shortcuts. It doesn't believe in anything that they get really fast. They want to make sure that it lasts. So think long-term. In fact, you may want to, this full moon in Capricorn, think about the end of the year when we hit December. Like, what do you want your life to be like? What do you need to let go of over the next 2 weeks so you can manifest and have what you want around holiday time, right? So think about the holidays and what you want to release between now and then. Commit. You got to commit. Cultivate discipline over the next 2 weeks to embrace Capricorn full moon's influence. Develop persistence. Stay committed and maintain focus on your goals despite challenges. Nothing good comes easy, they say, which can be the case. So it's about keeping your focus on what you want, irrespective of the challenges, because if you want something that you don't have, well, you're going to be challenged. So you got to stay committed, stay focused on your goals, and widen your lens. So you want to really look at life through a bigger picture perspective, especially with that Jupiter trine. So expand horizons with Jupiter's trine, explore new territories, gain knowledge, and embrace experiences that broaden your perspective for growth. Growth is the name of the game, and that is what is going to help us to achieve our goals. If you want more, you have to be more, right? And get solid. Build a solid foundation over the next 2 weeks. Foster success. You want to structure your plans, organize your resources, and implement practical strategies for a strong base on which more can be built. So Capricorn is not only about stability, but it's about building something of lasting value. So we need things to be rock solid, right? We want real fertile ground on which we can plant seeds for our new moon on the 17th. Additionally, 11 degrees. So as I said, check where 11 degrees of Capricorn falls in your chart. That's the life area highlighted, this lunation, and where you'll be releasing energy, releasing blocks and resistance until our new moon. So we're going to talk all about it and how you can make the most of this wonderful lunation. So let's start with Aries, of course. Start at the very beginning. Aries, this full moon in Capricorn is hitting your 10th house of status, position, honors, how the world sees you. This is about your reputation. So you want to release energy that is keeping you from achieving your professional goals. So what is in the way of you achieving that next rung on the ladder professionally? So it's about releasing limiting beliefs, embracing your ambition, and claiming your professional success. Now, Jupiter is in Taurus, and that is in your second house. So money for you this year should be very, very good. In fact, there's a big link this full moon between your status and your money. So you can find luck this full moon cycle with your talents, because that's also a second house thing. Maybe you'll explore your talents and develop your talents, or showcase your talents, and that will increase your status. Likewise, because you have luck in your second house, which rules money, you might find yourself very lucky in terms of money, and you might be able to use your financial acumen to get to that next level. Maybe this is about a sound investment. Sound investments, maybe it's about pouring money or investing money into an area of your career. But there's a nice link between your career as well as your your career and status, as well as your income and your talents. So let's see, Aries, what will be helpful for you to know this full moon in Capricorn. Some wisdom from the tarot for you. Well, can't beat this with a stick. 6 of Wands. So 6 of Wands is all about victory. So in the tarot, you got the Chariot card, right? Which is a major arcana card, where this guy is like Caesar riding triumphantly through Rome, right? Well, this card is like the minor arcana equivalent of the Chariot. 6 of Wands is about great exposure. It's about success. In fact, the astrological correlation of this is Jupiter in Leo. So this is all about victory. The only warning with this card is keep humble, right? You don't want to be vainglorious, I think they call it, with the 6 of Wands. But this is all about victory. So go get your trophy. Get your trophy and determine this full moon, what does victory look like? And what needs to be released in your life for you to achieve that level of victory? But it's a wonderful card, especially for this transit that you're going through specifically. So happy full moon, Aries. Taurus, the full moon in Capricorn is hitting your 9th house of expansion, which is nice. This is going to highlight your education, travel, and expansion matters. So it's a matter of you this full moon cycle between now and the 17th of July. What do you need to release in order to grow? could be limiting beliefs, while you embrace new perspectives and expand your horizons. So this could be a really great opportunity for you to release anything that's keeping you from growing. Maybe it's a matter of you need to bite the bullet and take a class, or maybe you need to go on a trip someplace that you've never been before. Maybe you need to maybe you want to dive deep into a new subject. Meanwhile, Jupiter is in your sign this year, which is awesome. And there's a wonderful trine going on between Jupiter and this full moon. So you're going to probably find a lot of luck this full moon when it comes to your personality and your image, because that's where Jupiter is. So you could, for instance, expand and grow by showcasing your personality. The 9th house also has to do with broadcast and publishing. So you could be removing blocks to broadcast and publishing opportunities. And if you use your personality, you might get ahead. So essentially, with Jupiter in your 1st house, making that trine to this full moon for you, Taurus, you can actually use your personality to get to that next level, to release blocks, to manifest. And also, I would say with your 1st house, this is a really great opportunity for you to release anything about your personality that you don't like. Maybe you feel like you want to change your personality and release certain things from it. Well, when you change your personality, you change your personal reality, because your personality creates your personal reality. So let's see, Taurus, what wisdom from the tarot you get this full moon in Capricorn. Full moon in Capricorn. Taurus. Taurus. Wow, we're on a roll. 10 of Pentacles. So this is called the Wealth card, which you as a Taurus particularly like. The Wealth card is about, well, it's about a situation that can last far into the future. There's a certain degree of permanence with this card. The 10 of Discs, or 10 of Pentacles, is really all about what is going to sustain and what's going to last far into the future. This could be a big, large-scale opportunity. This could be finding your people, right? It could be creating a family, right? There's a family element to 10 of Pentacles. So the big advice with the 10 of Pentacles is really to think long-term. What's going to last far into the future? What can you do to not just accumulate wealth, but accumulate wealth for your heirs, right? What can you do that's going to be really, really, really big and helpful to you? What investments might you need to make? But this is a really, really great card. So I would say the big advice is to really think about what you need to do for long-term wealth and stability. And that's going to really, really help you. In terms of your 9th house, this could be a big, large-scale project. Say you're a writer. This could be a wonderful project that you publish, or it could be a broadcasting opportunity. It could be you deciding, I'm going to go back to school, right? Because it's a 9th house transit. But it's a wonderful card. Wonderful card. Thank you, Great Talon. To you too. Happy 4th of July. Let freedom ring for sure. So Gemini, this full moon is hitting your 8th house. Little bit intense. Little bit. So the 8th house is all about rebirth. So this full moon in Capricorn is going to highlight intimacy. Transformation matters. It's a time for you to release old attachments, to embrace personal empowerment, and embrace changes. So the big thing for you, Gemini, is going to be about what do you need to do in regard to your boundaries. So the 8th house is all about boundaries. When you say no and when you say yes. So if something is disempowering you want to erect a boundary. You want to say, no, I'm not dealing with this. But if you find something is empowering to you and is beneficial, you might want to release your boundaries, right? Dissolve those boundaries. So it's all about empowerment. The point of an 8th house transit is so that you get stronger by letting go. Either you let go of your resistance and you let down your guard, or you put up a guard, right? And you're going to find luck this full moon by laying low. I mean, you got Jupiter in your 12th house. So you're probably going to make the most gains over the next 2 weeks, Gemini, by staying quiet and behind the scenes. You got Jupiter in your 12th. So you're going to make your best moves quietly, secretly, right? I would say that with an 8th house, 12th house transit, the big thing for you is this is emotional. This is very emotional. You're in this letting go phase, and a lot of stuff is happening on a subconscious level. Now, the 12th house with Jupiter there, it's a big deal. It's really, really helpful because we get in life what we subconsciously believe that we are. So utilize the next 2 weeks, Gemini, to play over in your head how you want things to go. And in regard to your 8th house, imagine or visualize, how do you want your intimacy to be in your life? Where do you want to invest your time? Where do you want to be empowered? Where do you think you should ideally erect boundaries or dissolve boundaries for your empowerment? So let's see, Gemini, what wisdom from the tarot you get this full moon. Wisdom for Gemini. Wisdom for Gemini. Well, this is very apropos. 4 of Swords. So 4 of Swords, he looks like he's dead. He's not dead. He's just meditating. So this card is really all about unplugging the phone. Unplugging the phone. I don't even know if when anybody has a landline anymore, but you get my point. Shutting off your phone, quiet, right? This is like the mind watching itself. That's what they say. So imagine that. Like close your eyes and imagine the mind watching itself. You're observing, right? This isn't a time for a big party. This isn't a time for you to go out on a limb. This is a time for you to really consolidate your inner base and to really quiet down your mind. And with your mind that's nice and quiet, determine what you want to put in your mind. What thoughts do you want to think? What thoughts do you no longer want to think, right? And because it's an 8th house transit for you, where do you need to let go? Where do you need to die for a new beginning? Because that is what is going on, right? Energetically or metaphorically, you're going through a death. So with the 4 of Swords, you want to make sure you're patient with yourself. You want to be contemplative. And you want to just spend a little bit of time alone and enjoying your privacy and quietude. That's going to help you a lot. So happy full moon, Gemini. Cancer, this full moon's hitting your 7th house because it's in your opposite sign. So relationships are going to be highlighted. And it's time to release old patterns. Say you are always in a relationship story in which, let's just say, you're always giving and you're left empty-handed and you attract freeloaders and blah, blah, blah. Say that's your MO or that's your pattern. Well, that's a belief that you have. You believe that you only attract freeloaders or whatever. So you need to release the belief because that's going to become an apparency, right? So whatever beliefs you have in terms of your partnerships that are limiting, release those. Maybe you believe that love has left you and that love is no longer for you, whatever. Anything that is debilitating, right? Release any beliefs in regard to that. Not just in terms of romantic partnerships, but professional partnerships too. This is a really great time to say you have a relationship and you're like, this is just no longer working. This is causing more trouble. It is more trouble than it is worth. Well, might be a time for you to just release that person. It's also a great time for you to embrace harmony and cultivate authentic connections. Maybe you're in a great relationship and you want to take it to the next level. So if that's the case, then what do you need to release in order to do that? Do you need to be more patient? Do you need to release animosity, resentment? Plus, you're going to probably find luck this full moon when it comes to your big dreams. You got Jupiter in your 11th house. And your 11th house is a big deal. It's all about your highest hopes, dreams, wishes, and goals. The 11th house also pertains to your friends and groups of like-minded people. So, in fact, if you're looking to get into a relationship, well, because you have Jupiter in your 11th, I would say to connect with your friends. Pass the word around. Say, hey, I'm looking. If you know anybody who's not a crazy person, maybe introduce me. You could do that. Also, networks. Groups of like-minded people rule the 11th house. So you could find a great partner, professional or personal, in a group of like-minded people. So that could be really cool. Let's see, Cancer, what wisdom you get from the tarot this full moon, opposite sign. Wisdom for Cancer. Well, this is great. 9 of Pentacles. So this is a lovely card. It's interesting that it's such an independent card, but you're going through a 7th house transit. But we'll talk about this. So 9 of Pentacles is an awesome card. In this card, we see a woman, a very well-to-do woman, who's taking a leisurely stroll through the garden of her estate. And she has in her hand a falcon. And this falcon supposedly is trained to hunt and kill on demand. Right? So essentially what the falcon represents is our darker impulses. And this chick, she has her darker impulses under control, represented by the falcon. So they don't rule her, but she knows how to call upon her darker impulses when she needs to. Essentially, she's very independent and she's very, very successful. And this is about enjoying your life, enjoying your wealth. It's a beautiful card. In terms of partnerships, this is about a great catch. This is just somebody who, oh my God, they like peanut butter and potato chip sandwiches like me. That's insane. I didn't think anybody could. Or they like the same music that you do, right? But it's a really, really great catch. So the big thing with the 9 of Pentacles is to really enjoy your own life, to fall in love with your life, to enjoy the fruits of your labor, and to also just enjoy the finer things in life. So I would say with this card for you, Cancer, it's all about enjoying your independence and falling in love with yourself to a certain degree. And because this card is Venus in Virgo, Venus does not chase, right? It attracts. So when you don't need anything, you're going to attract whatever it is that you might want, right? Because, the chick on the 9 of Pentacles, she's not desperate by any stretch, right? She's completely independent. So I would be that way. Don't need anything. Just enjoy yourself and see who or what you attract. That would be awesome. So enjoy that, Cancer. Hey, Haley. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining today. So, Leo, you got this full moon in Capricorn hitting your 6th house of lifestyle. So this is a big deal. This is about work. Health matters will be highlighted. It's really about your routines, your day-to-day processes, the nuts and bolts of your day-to-day operations. So this might be a really great time for you to release old habits or routines that no longer work for you. It could be a great time for you to let go of something work-wise that is no longer punching your ticket. If you're looking for new work, this could be really good. because you might be able to release blocks to a new job. It's really good for any fitness goals. Like if you wanted to lose a few pounds, a full moon in your 6th house is awesome, because all you need to do is say, okay, well, I'm not having sugar anymore, and I'm not having this anymore, or whatever. And it also is about releasing any energy within your body that no longer works for you. We hold on to things, right? So it's a really great time. I would get a massage. Great time for that. You want to embrace your vitality and strive for holistic well-being. You want everything in your life moving like a well-oiled machine. Meanwhile, what's awesome is that you've got Jupiter in your 10th house of status and career. And it's making a beautiful trine to this full moon in Capricorn. So this is awesome because your 6th house is all about work, right? So you're closing a cycle in terms of work, your day-to-day activities, what you do on a day-to-day basis. But you got Jupiter in your 10th house of status. So in astrology, there's a distinction between your job, what you do on a day-to-day basis, and your career or vocation or what you're known for. Ideally, the two coincide, and this is an opportunity for you to align both. So I would say, Leo, if you're looking for a new job or you're hating the job that you're in, this is the time to put yourself out there. You look really, really good with VIPs and higher ups. You got Jupiter in that 10th. Do not miss this opportunity. If you are not over the moon, happy, satisfied in your career or in your job, this is the full moon for you to get out of that rut and to really go for those shiny apples on the tree. Go big. What do you want to be known for? So think about that. And then if you're looking for a new job or you want to make adjustments to the job that you're in, let what you want to be known for inform your daily job, essentially. So let's see, Leo, what wisdom from the tarot you get this full moon. Wisdom for Leo. Wisdom for Leo. Wisdom for Leo. Wisdom for Leo. The moon. The moon on the full moon. So the moon card, with this card, there are going to be times in which things are very confusing and they don't make any sense. So when that's the case, you don't want to do anything, right? The moon card suggests that in some respects, if you're not feeling really gung-ho, be passive. The moon in a reading will counsel passivity. It says that the wind is in your face. So if you're not feeling great and you're not feeling good and you're not happy, don't make any decisions. That's a really good rule of thumb across the board, but particularly with you getting the moon card. So the moon card also talks about changes and fluctuations. If you are not happy in your current work situation, things will fluctuate. So keep that in mind, that what is going on now on the work front is not permanent, most likely. I would say with the moon card, this is a really great time to trust your intuition, to enjoy artistic stuff and be creative. The moon card is really about going beyond the world of logic and really into the subconscious. So maybe in light of your 6th house goals or your 10th house goals, your work and career goals, maybe you visualize what it is that you want, or maybe you play around with some different ideas before you make a move. But unless it's a hell yeah, don't do it with the moon card. So keep that in mind. The Leo loves the moon. Yes, I bet you do, Sin. Happy full moon to you. Hey, Kelsey, nice to see you. Yes, I hope so as well. Hey, Magpie, nice to see you. I'm glad you made it too. Thanks for joining. So Virgo, this full moon in Capricorn is hitting your 5th house. 5th house, highlighting creativity, romantic matters. So the 5th house is about things that you really, really love. things that you really love, including your creations, including your children if you got kids. So this could be a time of completing a cycle with your children, maybe with a creative project. It's a good idea for you to release self-criticism, to embrace self-expression, and ignite joyful passions. You want to really do what you can to release anything, Virgo, that does not make you light up like a Christmas tree. So if anything's heavy, if anything is depressing or making you sad, this full moon calls for a perspective switch, and it might call for taking out the trash, quite frankly. Meanwhile, now this is interesting. You get Jupiter in your 9th house making a beautiful trine to the full moon in your 5th. So you might find luck, Virgo, with foreign people or foreign places. Maybe it's time for you to have fun in a foreign land. Maybe there's a place that you've been dying to go to, but there's luck with foreigners and foreign places. Also, the 9th house is not just foreign places and foreign people, but it's also higher education. It could be publishing, broadcast. It's all about expansion and growth. So there's a lot of luck. If you're a writer, for instance, this would be a really, really great time for you to get your stuff out there, right? To do anything like that. Or, if you're an artist or a creator in any capacity, this is a really great time to really publish and broadcast your stuff. Hey, Allie, thank you for your super chat. I do appreciate that. Are you a Capricorn, Allie? Thank you for your super chat. I do appreciate it. Happy full moon. So let's see, Virgo, what card you get for your wisdom. Some tarot wisdom, Virgo, for your full moon. Let's see. Wisdom for Virgo. Full moon, Capricorn. Tarot wisdom for Virgo. Tarot wisdom for Virgo. I love it. 8 of Pentacles. This card is actually Sun in Virgo, because all the cards have an astrological correspondence or a planetary correspondence. And this one is Sun in Virgo, which makes perfect sense. Look, so in this card, you see a man hammering away. He is being very diligent and prudent and careful. One of my very first tarot students, long time ago, had read someplace that in this card, this guy is making trophies, which is so cool, right? Like on the one hand, he's making trophies. He's creating something that is award worthy, but also to actually make a trophy, you have to be very careful and diligent. So with the 8 of Pentacles, Virgo, this is your card, and it really is about the power of the overall view. How do things look from a big, large picture perspective, right? And what do you need to do on a day-to-day basis in terms of your routines and processes to make it happen? So for you, because this is a 5th house transit, say you're wanting to fall madly in love, right? Okay, well, from an overall view, what are you doing on a day-to-day basis that aligns with that? Are you in love with your life? Are you loving yourself? Are you having fun? Are you laughing? Are you doing what you can to put yourself in situations in which you can have fun and even meet somebody romantically? The 5th house also pertains to true love. So that could be cool, right? I would say that in terms of your fun and creativity, you've got to be prudent. You got to schedule it. So Virgos have a tendency to be really perfectionistic, and they at times will feel guilty if they're not working. It's really interesting. A Virgo thing that I see a lot is when they're with their family, they feel guilty about work. And when they're at work, they feel guilty about not spending time with their family. So they either feel like a bad parent or a bad worker, which is never the case, right? Or rarely is it the case. So think about the overall view. How do you want things to be? And what do you need to do in terms of process to have more fun in your life? And also, I would say with your Jupiter in the 9th house, maybe it's a matter of really determining, do I need to go back to school? The Eight of Pentacles is definitely a schooling card. So there might be some new training to help you expand. With Jupiter in your 9th house, this is certainly a time to expand your mind and grow. So happy full moon, Virgo. Libra. Well, you're comfy and cozy, I hope, Libra. This full moon in Capricorn is hitting your 4th house. A big deal. This is on an angle. 4th house is a big deal. So it's going to highlight emotional matters and domestic matters because the 4th house is your house of home and family. At the end of the day, sure, we call it home and family, but it's really about emotional security. So this is the time for you to release anything that undermines your sense of emotional security. Is somebody making you doubt yourself? Is somebody making you feel bad? That might be a matter of letting them go or setting a boundary. Is there something in your life that is undermining your emotional security? That's what needs to let go. That you need to let go of. It could be a great time to release old patterns, to embrace harmony, and really create a nurturing sanctuary. This is a transit for you, Libra, to get in touch with the divine mother. How do you need to nurture and care for yourself as if you were the good parent, right? Meanwhile, you got Jupiter in your 8th house, which is a big deal. So you're going to make a lot of gains this year, particularly this full moon cycle up until the 17th of July, when it comes to combining your resources with other people's. So, for instance, because Jupiter's in your 8th, you might want to go into business with someone. Because Jupiter's in your 8th, your intimacy could be off the hook good, right? I would say with Jupiter in your 8th house, this is definitely a really great time for empowering, pleasurable sex, for sure. Also, with Jupiter in your 8th, whenever you say no or set a boundary or dissolve a boundary, or even when you let something die, there is luck for you. So keep that in mind with Jupiter in your 8th. And enjoy this transit. This should be really cool. So let's see, Libra, what wisdom from the tarot you get this full moon in Capricorn. Wisdom for Libra. Wisdom for Libra. Okay, so you got 4 of Cups. This card is all about emotional stability, so to speak. It's a little strange, the 4 of Cups, because water by its very nature ebbs and flows, right? It's never really stagnant. But this is about being contented and not really requiring more, right? 4 of Cups is nice. I love how it's a 4 and it's cups and you're going through a 4th house transit that is emotional. So with the 4 of Cups, it's about being like contented and not really requiring much else. It's about getting really, really comfortable. The only issue with the 4 of Cups is apathy, right? So it's important for you with 4 of Cups to really recognize what it is that you have and to really enjoy it. I would say also, you know, because it's 4 of Cups in your 4th house transit, do whatever you can to just get nice and comfortable. Don't feel like you need to do anything. This is it is really an emotional time for you with the 4th house full moon, as well as Jupiter in your 8th. It might be a time in which you really need to listen to yourself and get some extra rest. But the 4 of Cups overall, it's about being contented, satisfied. So do whatever you can to get really, really satisfied and content. And then from there, make decisions, perhaps. Hey, bot. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining today. Scorpio. So Scorpio, this full moon in Capricorn is hitting your 3rd house of communication. So the full moon is going to highlight your communications, your learning, and your mindset. That's the most important thing. Attitude is a small thing that makes a big difference. And the third house is not only how you process information, but it's also how you see things, right? So this is a really great time to release old perspectives, any negative thinking. It's also a really great time to embrace expression and your knowledge. The third house is all about learning. It's the most curious house. And what's really cool, Scorpio, is you get Jupiter in your 7th. And that's making a beautiful trine to your 3rd. So the 7th house is about your partnerships. And the 3rd house, where you have this full moon that you're completing a cycle, is about your communications. So this could be a time in which you have a conversation with somebody that really, really helps a partnership, right? Or it could be a matter of a partner helps you meet the right people or learn something new, right? It's a wonderful time for you to really connect with partners. You could actually say this year, I want the perfect whatever partner you want, be it boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, secretary, because the 7th house rules consultants too, best friend, whatever it is that you want. But the 3rd house, it's a matter, I think the big question for you, Scorpio, is like, what things do you need to like release? Are you going to the same coffee shop and you hate going there, right? Are you over going to this same places, right? What in your communications needs to end? Are you constantly having to talk to somebody that you don't enjoy talking to them, right? What do you need to end in terms of your communication cycle? Let's see, Scorpio, what wisdom you get this full moon in Capricorn. Wisdom for Scorpio. Wisdom for Scorpio. Four of Cups. So same thing. If you were listening earlier, the Four of Cups is really all about finding your sense of emotional security, right? It's about being contented and not really requiring more, right? The Four of Cups, the problem with the Four of Cups or the issue with the Four of Cups is apathy, is that we might be apathetic about what it is that we have, or we might be a little bit bored or disinterested. Typically, when I see the Four of Cups in a reading, one of two things are happening. You're either giving love to somebody and they're just not open to it, or somebody is giving love to you and you're not open to it. So it's like apathy, like somebody is giving you something and you're blasé about it, or vice versa. So I would say with the Four of Cups for you, especially in light of your 3rd house, if anything is just lackluster, that's not lighting you up anymore in terms of your communications, maybe let it go, right? I also would say that with the Four of Cups, make sure that your mindset is very, very, very positive. At the same time, I think Four of Cups is a little strange for a Scorpio, to be honest. Scorpios are a sign of extremes. For instance, they say that Scorpio is, that most of them are hypersexual, almost to the point of being sex addicts. Not true. Scorpios are extremes, right? They like extremes. So there are times in which Scorpios might be having a lot of sex, but at the same time, there might be, or at another time, Scorpios might actually be chaste, right? So I would say with the Four of Cups, it's interesting for you, Scorpio, because you don't really dig that level of emotional quietude, right? But maybe this card is about doing what you can to get things emotionally stabilized for you, getting nice and comfortable and cozy, and then determining, what do I need emotionally? What do I need in my day-to-day lifestyle? What do I need in terms of communications? And really, because Jupiter's in your 7th, what do you need in terms of a partner? So maybe get content, feel filled up and satisfied, and then make your moves. Of course, with the 3rd house and the 7th house transit, we can't look for anything outside of us to make us feel better. We have to make ourselves feel better. So maybe that's what the wisdom is, Scorpio. Hey, April Taylor, nice to see you. I love how you're an Aries and your name is April. I imagine, April, you were born in April, like the sign of Aries. I also wonder if your parents named you that because you are an Aries, or were you born in March? Well, you hear this, do let me know. So the time period this applies to is from today, July 3rd, until the 17th of July, at which point we'll have our Cancerian new moon. But you can implement these strategies and think long-term, i.e. holiday, right? Because the full moon is in Capricorn. When the sun is in Capricorn, we have our new moon in Capricorn. It'll be at the end of the year or early next year. I forget when. But you want to think about holiday, right? What do you want to be doing during a holiday, right? During holiday season. What do you need to let go of now in order to make that realistic, right? But most of it is all about the next 2 weeks, from now until the 17th of July. I love it. You were born April. Dawn was born in the morning, and that's a lot to live up to, April. Good thing you're in Aries. Otherwise, it might be very difficult for you. Yeah. April Dawn. Great name. Great name. Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, this full moon is hitting your 2nd house of values and finance. That's pretty awesome. So the full moon is going to highlight financial matters and your values. Also your talents, I should say. So this might be a really great time to complete a cycle when it comes to what it is that you do. In a way, you might say, you know what? I have this talent. I'm going to explore this. I want to go into this area. You want to release anything that is not abundant. So you want to release a scarcity mindset if you have one, any sense of limitation. You want to embrace abundance, of course, and also align with your true worth, your true self-worth. You want to really understand how valuable you are. You want to recognize what you bring to the table and how awesome you are, which shouldn't be difficult, Sag. You also might find luck this full moon in 6th house stuff with your work, with your health, with your routines. So if you're looking for a new job, this is the full moon, in which could be really good for you. I would say release blocks to anything that's keeping you from moving forward. But a 2nd house full moon that aligns with the 6th house is really good. So if you're looking for a new job, this is a really good opportunity. You might be closing up a cycle in terms of work, in fact. But this full moon, I would say for you, if you're looking for new work or you're looking for new projects, etc., this is one that could be really, really good for you, not just financially, but for your lifestyle, right? It also could be a time in which you decide to really release any resistance to what to anything that has to do with you exploring and expressing your talents and your abilities. And with your 6th house, because there's luck there, it could be a matter of you're going to actually have the time in your schedule to explore your talents, to explore your abilities. So let's see, Sagittarius, what wisdom you get from the tarot this full moon. I love it. You got Ace of Diamonds, or Ace of Pentacles, or Ace of Discs, however you want to call it. So this is about a new beginning. The aces are all about the start of something, and all aces pertain to you needing to do something, right? So with the Ace of Pentacles, what seeds can you prepare to plant? We're not planting seeds now. We're getting the soil ready. So what do you need to do this full moon to get your soil all ready for more money? What do you need to do to get your soil ready to really explore your talents, abilities, and gifts, right? And also, because Jupiter's in your 6th, what do you need to release in your life that's going to help you with your day-to-day lifestyle? Is it a job you need to release? Do you need to release something that is making you feel bad, be it sugar or alcohol or, I don't know, whatever it is that you know your body doesn't enjoy, or you can enjoy it, but that you don't think is good for you in the long run. A really, really great transit for you. And I think with Ace of Pentacles, it's really, really nice. With the aces, you need to do something. So think on a practical level. What do you need to release for more money and more talent exploration or talent expression of your talents? And enjoy your full moon for sure. And Capricorn, well, this is your full moon, Capricorn. This full moon for you, of course, is hitting your 1st house of identity. It highlights your self-image, your personality. And remember, your personality creates your personal reality. So if you change your personality, you're going to change your personal reality. So this full moon for you, Capricorn, it's a time for you to say, you know what? I don't like this aspect of my personality. I'm always complaining, maybe. Or maybe you're, I don't know, maybe you're not complaining enough. Maybe you need to stand up for yourself more, whatever. But you're releasing something in terms of your personality that's going to bring you to that next level. So come holiday, your birthday, you are freed up and you're living the life that you want. So think about holiday. Think about the end of the year. Where do you want to be? How do you want to see yourself? Because that's what the 1st house is about. And what do you need to release now in order to really make your holiday season 2023 one for the books? So release any self-doubt, embrace your authenticity, and step into your own authority. That's going to be really, really big, right? And that usually is not a problem for Capricorn. Usually you all are masterful in some, if not many, areas. Plus, you're going to find luck this full moon, most likely, through 5th house stuff, through creativity and play, and having fun, doing things that really light you up. If you're looking to conceive and have children, this is a good transit for it. If you're looking to create something new, a new creative project, this is a great transit for it. So I would look at how your personality can shift into that as a creator, because you have Jupiter in your 5th house. So you want to identify with somebody who has fun, who knows how to have a lot of fun, and who encapsulates joy and is a creator, is perhaps artistic. But there's a nice link between your personality and your joy. So maybe you need to incorporate more joyfulness into your personality. Capricorn, well, it can be, because of all of that heaviness and responsibility, it does have a tendency toward depression. So maybe it's a matter of you're releasing that. And you're like, okay, well, I don't need to worry about things anymore. I'm growing older, which means if you're a Capricorn, you're going to grow old in reverse, right? Because as we said in the beginning, Capricorn is born with a lot of responsibility. And as they grow older, they are able to have more fun. They're able to be children the older they get. And they also look better. They tend to look younger. They tend to look younger at 30 than they did 20, or younger at 70 than they did 60, etc. So let's see, Capricorn, what advice you get from the tarot this full moon. Woo. Card flew out of the deck. That's funny. Temperance. I love it. So temperance is a balance of temperament, tolerance, and patience, right? Which you're very good at, typically. So the temperance card is really, really cool. This card is about finding the right combination of things to make you well and happy. It also is about maintaining an even flow of emotion, no matter what it is that you're feeling, right? So if you're feeling happy, expressing that happiness. If you're feeling sad, you don't want to stifle it. So in law of attraction, it's a little bit tricky. A lot of people, when they first get into law of attraction, they don't allow themselves to have a negative thought at all, or they don't allow themselves to be sad. And if you are sad or you are angry and you're ignoring it, you're borrowing trouble. You need to be honest with yourself. You need to be authentic, which is a first house transit. And you got to really look at yourself square in the face and be like, okay, I'm really upset right now, or I'm really, really happy right now, or I'm really angry, or I'm really disappointed, whatever it is that you're feeling. But it's about flowing with those feelings. And I also think with this card, especially because you're going through a first house and a fifth house transit, find those right combination of things. Like, what do you need to do on a regular basis that's going to make you feel amazing? What are you going to do on a regular basis that's going to light you up so you can claim that second childhood, right? So also, I would say with the Temperance card, look at expansion. We don't know what we don't know. So if somebody has what you want, maybe research them, determine what they do. What are their beliefs, right? And finally, I would say with the Temperance card, you might want to get out of your normal everyday surroundings. You might want to go on a trip. You might want to read something that you hadn't read before. You may want to deep dive into something that is completely foreign to you, if not a foreign land, literally. So keep that in mind, Capricorn. Enjoy your full moon. And yes, thank you. Mount the like button for sure. Let's do that here. Aquarius. Well, this Capricorn moon is hitting your 12th house of the subconscious. So it's early to bed for you, young man or young woman. The 12th house is all about spirituality. It's about your subconscious. It's behind the scenes stuff. So you're releasing old stuff in your subconscious that is no longer true, that is no longer relevant, that is no longer helpful to you. So you want to release old patterns, you want to embrace your inner wisdom, and you also want to transcend limitations. So the 12th house, it's about endings. What is ending around you? What are you no longer doing? What are you moving on from? Meanwhile, because you get Jupiter in your 4th house, you could have a lot of luck in terms of your domestic life. This could be a matter of you finding a really, really great home. This could be a matter of you finding a really great deal on furniture, or it also could be a matter of there's just luck running in your family. Like somebody could be lucky in your home life and that luck rolls off on you. So really, really nice stuff there. At the end of the day, the 4th house is all about your emotional security, what makes you feel at home within the self. So I would say that with the 12th house transit you're going through right now, it's about releasing any beliefs that you can't get comfortable, that you can't be at home within the self, right? Aquarians are thinkers. They are overthinkers. They're wildly intelligent, but every gift is a curse. So maybe this is a transit about you training your subconscious to be okay with peace, right? Sometimes we don't allow peace because on a subconscious level, we think that that's going to make us pray. So you might want to convince your subconscious, I live in a safe universe. And you also might want to make your home surroundings really, really nice and comfortable. Or at the very least, create a practice in which you are feeling really at home and comfy and cozy within the self. So let's see, Aquarius, what card you get for your full moon. Some wisdom from the tarot for you. Well, Ace of Wands. Boy, oh boy, this is interesting. So the Ace of Wands is like a new identity, right? And it's perfect because you're going through a 12th house transit and we get in life what we subconsciously believe that we are. So the Ace of Wands is a bold move. I would say because you're going through a 12th house, 4th house transit right now, or the 12th house transit trining your 4th, this is not a time for necessarily bold moves. I would really make sure you're following the astrology and lie low, definitely focus on what you want, really think, right? But what you're in the process of doing is creating this new identity. And you're going to have a lot of energy. You might even have a lot of energy now. The thing is, with the Ace of Wands, it's like a blazing torch. It's pure, raw potential. You could have this blazing torch and say, I'm going to start my own business. Or you could have this blazing torch and say, I'm going to clean my house, whatever it might be. But it's whatever you want, you're going to have plenty of energy. This is the second highest energy card in the deck, the first being the Sun. So I would say that you're going to have a lot of energy. Don't blow it all away now. Over the next 2 weeks, do what you can to really honor your subconscious mind, really get in touch with your beliefs, get yourself nice and comfortable and cozy, then make your moves. But Ace of Wands is great. It's a lot of energy you're going to have at your disposal. Oh, look at this. I'm an Aquarius and recently made friends with an interior decorator that has offered to decorate my flat for a skill swap. I love it. That's great. That's wonderful. And last but never least, the wonderful Pisces of the zodiac. 11th house, Pisces. This is a nice little transit for you. The 11th house has to do with hopes, dreams, wishes, and ideals. There are no dangling carrots in the universe. So if you want something, it comes with the built-in prerequisite ability for you to achieve it. And that's what the 11th house says. The 11th house says, why not? So if you want something, this could be a great full moon for you to say, I need to release any limiting beliefs that I can't have it. Because if you want something, you can have it. There are no dangling carrots in the universe. So this full moon is going to highlight your friendships, your dreams. It's going to be an opportunity for you to release limitations, to embrace collective connections. The 11th house has to do with groups of like-minded people, your network. And it's time to manifest your visionary aspirations. So think big. Think big. And you got the full moon making a wonderful trine to Jupiter in your third house. Now, the third house is like everything but the kitchen sink, or including the kitchen sink, right? Third house has to do with your mindset. It has to do with your communications. It has to do with perhaps your siblings, your neighbors, your neighborhood, short distance travels, the things that you do on a day-to-day basis. It's all about communications, right? So you get luck there. So if you're looking to manifest a dream, this is an opportunity for you to communicate with the right people to help you implement that dream. If you're looking for a new tribe that aligns with your vibe, this is an opportunity for you to communicate or to research and find that group of people that is perfect for you. If you have a big dream you want to manifest, especially, now is the time for you to really get logical, get the right mindset, and move forward, right? Make it happen. You don't want to sleep, so to speak, during an 11th house transit, right? The 11th house also pertains to big lump sums of money. So you get the second house and you might do a job and you get paid for that. But the 11th house also pertains to big money that you get in one fell swoop. So if you're looking for that, make sure you have something that people can pay for, right? In any case, this is a nice transit for you. I would say that it's all about socializing differently, communicating with yourself differently, doing new things as time progresses. So what do you need to let go of now for the 17th of July when you get your new moon? And that might be new communications and new places that you visit, stuff like that. So let's see, Pisces, what card you get for your full moon, some wisdom for the tarot, from the tarot, this full moon for you. Tarot wisdom for Pisces. Well, perfect. The Sun card. So the Sun, this is the highest energy card in the deck. And this is wonderful. So the Sun card is about illumination. It's about feeling really, really, really strong. Think about how you would feel if you were a sun god or a sun goddess. You'd feel profoundly sure of your power. You'd feel radiant and sparkling and bright and really, really creative, right? So you want to allow yourself to align with this energy. This is a brand new beginning for you. It might be a brand new beginning in regard to your hopes, dreams, wishes, and goals. It might be a new beginning for you in regard to your friendships and your community. The Sun card is also often about being singled out for notice. So if there's something that you would like to be known for, or if there's some kind of credit or acclaim that you're after, the Sun card would definitely say, go for it. The Sun is a highly optimistic card. It's the best card in terms of love or children and romance, creativity. It's really spectacular. So I would say the big thing for you is to really consider your biggest hopes, dreams, wishes, and goals. Also consider your friends and your community, and what is the best scenario in that those situations, and what do you need to release in order to materialize them, in order to make them real. So enjoy that. That's a wonderful card for you, Pisces. So yes, Amber, you did. I'm so glad you did. Well, believe it or not, folks, that's it. We got 4 things to do this Capricorn full moon. Be ambitious, as we said. Commit. Widen your lens, broaden your perspective, and get solid. I hope you enjoyed this today. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're looking for a reading, or you want coaching, or gift certificates, or parties, etc., well, psychicsun.com is my website. You can find that in the description below. Also, do not forget that we have written horoscopes in the description below as well. And this Thursday, we're going to be having another Astrology of Crime episode. And we're going to be covering this very tragic case. So this happened on June 15th. This guy by the name of Chad Doerman, he executed his 3 young boys. Pretty intense, but we're going to look at it. We're going to look at this case and see if we can understand it better. Not that this is something that we could possibly fathom, but we're going to look at it, and hopefully we can experience lots of healing for the remaining family members and the community and the first responders. The first responders had to give CPR on children that had been shot. It's very, very tragic. Send love to everybody involved. And also join me on Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and we shall talk about the case and go over the forensic chart for it. So thank you again for watching today. I do appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful 4th, for sure. My pleasure, Regan. You have a wonderful 4th. Have a wonderful 4th of July, Sin. Have a wonderful 4th of July. We're in a wonderful, wonderful country, the best country ever. So be sure to celebrate America, celebrate yourself, celebrate your independence, especially. And I shall talk to you soon.